I was fully expecting, and to be honest, like was okay with GTA 6 for this biggest game of all time would use some form of generative AI, really non-consequential things. But no, Rockstar actually said there has been and will not be use of AI like in development at all.
If there was ever a studio that you're pretty sure would never have to use it, it'd probably be them.
I'm surprised they made a statement because like committing to we're not using it is a big planting your flag moment, and it's like, okay, now people are gonna read you for filth if they catch you. Like, let's do Crimson Desert. I'm so freaking excited.
I've always been on the that looks too good to be true side. It's kind of become like the annoying opinion. It's valid. I think it's a valid concern to have.
It's just having the rug pulled under us so many times that
it's trauma.
We're
it's literally trauma.
Yeah, it's trauma.
It is. Sorry, breaking announcement.
The images that
breaking announcement. As of taking a break and reading Twitter, Bluepoint Games is being closed down.
What?
Yes.
Wait, what?
All right, Tent Farm episode 30, the big 30. Brought to you by, sponsored by me, Peter, and Clyde for the 30th time. Well, not for Clyde. Clyde's a late joiner, but for me and Peter, this will be the 30th episode. Anyway, how have you been, gentlemen?
Good. How's it going?
Clyde?
Pretty good.
Got any?
No complaints. No. For everyone who's been following my Sekiro adventure at home, I'm hard stuck. I'm hard stuck in the game now. Oh, no. I'm stuck on a boss. It is a gorilla ape boss.
Oh shit!
And this boss is messing me up. Like the first phase tricks you into thinking you've won, and I'm like, whoa, this isn't bad at all. And then the second phase really is screwing me up. And I've probably wiped 30, 40 times at this point, and I'm pretty hard stuck. So F's in the chat for Clyde. My Sekiro adventure may be coming to an end because of this giant monkey boss.
No way, because honestly, like 30, 40 sounds bad, but that's like rookie numbers for people getting seriously hard stuck. In fact, for a really hard boss, 30, 40 isn't like, that's not a lost cause. I've definitely done 30, 40 on plenty of bosses across. Even I remember in Dark Souls 3,
I know. I
probably tried to kill, what's that motherfucker in the church called? Pontiff Sullivan. I probably tried to kill Pontiff Sullivan about 50 times, or maybe more, because I just could not do it. He did too much damage, and he was too scary. But I did it.
Brutal boss.
I did it without parrying him, which is like you can cheese him really easily by parrying him to the point where he does nothing. But yeah, any crazy stories, Clyde? How's life outside the screen?
Well, peek behind the curtain for folks watching. We had to switch our recording schedule because we were at a political event this week, and it's been life has been good up here. Just lots of protests, rallies. We did a postcard writing thing this week. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you all the craziest story. Mm-hmm. I was doing the post. We do our community does like a weekly postcard writing thing where we go to a local like market. They have seating, and we all sit down and we write postcards to unregistered voters. I was sitting at a table with this like 80-year-old guy, and I'll use just his first name. He's a really nice guy. His name is Ken, and I was asking him about his life, and he told me the craziest thing. He was like, Clyde, when I went to high school in the Deep South, our high school was still segregated.
What the fuck?
Like that blew my mind. Like white students and black students couldn't use the same facilities, like couldn't use the same water fountains and stuff. He was like, I'm so old, I lived through desegregation. I was like mind blown. And he told me stories about it, and he told me about like the first kids of minorities that appeared at his school and how the school treated them, and like just how much he's seen the political change in this country. But I was like, dude, holy crap, I just wish I could download your brain. That's incredible that you lived through all of that, and you like experienced all of that. But like totally mind blown. I just like, yeah, it was definitely a crazy time. Of course we're writing postcards all the time, but yeah, I was mind blown. I was like, Ken, you are a freaking, like, your brain has got so many crazy experiences in it. But yeah,
really weird.
It's been a good week.
Because I guess that does make sense, because being 80 years old easily puts you within the time frame of segregation. But like, it never occurred to me that people who are that age actually did that. I guess that adds up. But I don't really have anyone old in my life who I can ask about things like that. But yeah, it never really crossed my mind that that's a thing that everyone would have seen. I mean, did he say like what that was like, or how that was kind of perceived at the time?
Yeah, and it's a great point, Sean. Like we've all of us here, and most people listening to this, that are below the age of 70, will not have lived in that reality. So no, it's totally like it's hard for me to even imagine it. But yeah, he did. He said the first black kid that joined his high school was when he was a freshman, and he said the school didn't treat them well. He didn't say they were like outright mean to him. He wasn't in the most red like city, but he said that like the school was very standoffish with him, and he said like this 80-year-old guy at the table with me, he's like I wish I had been a better friend to him. I wish I had talked to him more. I wish I'd like crossed the line more, because he saw everybody ostracizing them, and he just kind of complicitly went along with that, I guess. But he said
Yeah.
by the time he graduated, there was like double digit numbers of black kids, other minorities, other races, and he was starting to see the tide shift. So in those 4 years, there was a rapid mentality shift. But he said that first year, it was one guy, and he was like, "Dang, I really wish more people had like stood up for him or been with him." But it's exactly like what you said, Sean. Is like I can't even imagine that world, right? Like I've never lived in that world, so it's hard for me
Yeah.
to even imagine that circumstance. And like when I was sitting with him, I was like, dude, I just want to like hear all your crazy stories and all the stuff you've lived through and what we can learn from it and what we can do better. But yeah, I think there's some like historians watching what's happening in America today, and they're like, we're going backwards
No,
on
we're
that
going
front. Like
back.
we're
No.
it's like so, yeah. But not to make this a political thing, but yeah. But I appreciate you asking about it. Yeah, it was a good time, and we've got some more events coming up to this weekend, so it'll be a fun time. And I appreciate y'all being flexible. But for now,
Oh, of
I want to
course.
freaking talk about video games. I want to talk about the screwed up stuff happening in the video game industry. Where do you want to start? Where do you want to start today, Sean?
I mean, for video games, it's not screwed up. But do you want to talk about GTA 6 and the AI thing? Because I found like that we've been meaning to talk about that for like 3 weeks now, and we never got around to it. But that's like a really interesting one because like I was fully expecting, and to be honest, like was okay with the idea that GTA 6, like Rockstar for this biggest game of all time, would use like procedural AI for like or not, I know procedural AI probably will be in, but I mean like some form of generative AI for like things that just aren't important or aren't of focus, like I don't know, NPCs, backdrops, shit like that. Really non-consequential things. But no, Rockstar actually said there's for like there has been and will not be use of AI like in development at all, which is I was not expecting at all. I thought they'd just keep quiet about it, and then when the game released, it would be like it would be clear that some was used, and it would probably have gone down fine because I think Rockstar would have actually used it well, to be honest. But no, I'm really, really surprised to see that they haven't used it. I mean, what are your thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, they could still use it. I mean, are we really sure that no one in their office is ever going to ask a question to Chat GPT, or they're never going to render a placeholder asset or something like that? Like, there's like nothing legally binding for them to not have to actually use it. They just have to not get caught pretty much at this point.
It's
So,
true.
I
It's
mean,
true.
to be fair though, for a studio their big, as big as they are, they don't need to. I mean, they definitely got the money. So if there was ever a studio that you're pretty sure would never have to use it, it'd probably be them. But going back to the point, yeah, they still very, very well could. So I'm gonna take a wait and see approach.
I guess so. I think the backlash.
Yeah.
I think saying that they're not going to and then doing it would actually give Rockstar like pretty big backlash. Like
Yeah,
I know that
yeah,
they're like very highly regarded, but that would be bad if they were caught using it
yeah.
after specifically saying they're not using it. But I think if they didn't say anything and it was in the game, then I don't think anyone would really care. To be honest, obviously,
I think you're right. Yeah,
I don't mean like like core content. I mean, I'm talking about like the stuff that people don't want to sit and make. Like that's the only stuff I'm talking about. I think that would have
yeah.
gone down fine. To be honest, Clyde, what do you think?
I completely agree. I'm surprised they made a statement, because like committing to we're not using it is a big planting your flag moment, and it's like, okay, now people are going to read you for filth if they catch you. Like like
Yeah.
you better walk the walk, because you just spoke up and said something. And so yeah, I don't know. I also agree. Like I mean, I think there's a lot of these tasks that are really mundane and that can be, streamlined with a little bit of AI technology, and not obviously not creative tasks. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see how this unfolds. And I don't know, like in some ways, I hope that their statement they're not lying, and I hope they are being truthful, and they have, as a company, been like, hey, we really want to celebrate human creativity. We really want to celebrate, human artists. That's great. That's awesome. But if that comes out now that they didn't do that, man, they're going to get read for filth. It's going to be
Yeah.
headlines. I mean, we can imagine, right? Like, we can imagine the first week of GTA 6, it gets perfect 10s across the board. Week number 2, ChatGPT AI assets generated, generate AI asset arts, detected in GTA 6. Controversy everywhere. Will it hurt sales? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But like, this is like, we live in a timeline where like Expedition 33 had their awards taken away, had an award taken away from them because they were caught, lying about their use of generative AI. So seems weird that they even said anything at all.
That's
I
what
hope that
that's what I
they're
thought.
being
I thought the
honest.
statement was weird. I was thinking like,
Yeah.
never say never. But like,
Yeah.
Can I ask? I want to ask a question, Sean, because like I don't know if you know this, and I don't know if UK listeners will know this. In the US right now, all over the United States, there are these huge data centers being built up they're expensive. They're tens of millions of dollars. They consume tons and tons of water. I'm not trying to make this political again, but this is just something that we're seeing in Washington. We're seeing it. I know my folks in Texas have seen it, and I've definitely seen across the Midwest, and of course in other areas of the country as well. So I'm just curious: are data centers popping up in the UK, or is the UK like straight up just being like, miss me with that shit? Like, I'm curious. Is that a thing there?
honestly, I don't know, but probably yes. Like, I don't see why the UK wouldn't do that. I think basically every like first world country is is going to start doing that. But I have heard about this water. You mentioned water. My sister was randomly talking about like ChatGPT the other day, and she mentioned like, "Oh, I'm going to stop using it," and I was like, "Well, why?" I mean, there are a lot of reasons to stop using it, but why? And then she was like, "Well, apparently every time," she said the exact quote she used was that apparently every time you ask ChatGPT a message or every time it responds, it uses a certain amount of water. And I was like, "Well, why? Can you explain that?" Like, I really don't understand. Like, I know quite a little bit about like computer systems and servers and shit, and how are you losing water in the process? And she said it was something to do with liquid cooling, but she has no idea what she's talking about. And I'm like, well, the way I understand liquid cooling is that it's a recycling process.
Some of them are.
What is the water
Yeah.
thing? Do you know?
There are two or three different types, but there are, like, the ones you described are called closed loop systems, where the
Yeah.
water, it is, recycled over and over again to cool, whatever infrastructure they have going on. But there are communities where their data centers don't, and they just straight up nuke the water with, like, with properties that don't make it drinkable or usable for the environment. So it's just hella. It's also not a great feeling, like, for any community to suddenly have any company or third party coming in and spending tens of millions of dollars on huge facilities and buying tons of land, and suddenly building up these tons of things. And like, you think that would also come with jobs, but a lot of the time it doesn't. A lot of the time these data centers don't help the community beyond their environmental damages. But you're right. It is nuanced. Anybody who's saying every time you Google, anytime you use AI, you lose 6 cups of potable water or something, that is a statement that someone took from like some research and distorted, and now it's become a meme. But I think there are some systems that actually do harm water, and harm the properties of the water that's being used there. But I think a lot of them are also closed loop systems too. It's not necessarily the water that freaks me out. It's just like the idea that there's these giant facilities that are
Yeah.
like, cool, we've got so many buildings for ChatGPT. Do we need more buildings for ChatGPT? Like, there are more AI, but I don't know. It's the way the world's going. I saw Peter. You wanted to say something, please. If you have insights on this, educate our asses.
I just wanted to mention. Yeah, you're right. It's a bit of a meme about the water usage. Like, each time you ask it a question, you use like 10 liters of water, or 10 gallons of water, or like 10 swimming pools of water. It's kind of overdone. It still uses a bit of water. But what's funny is someone actually put it to the test and see how much water it uses, and like something like querying an AI model is roughly the same as like just doing a Google search or something. So it's not that incredible, and it's like a couple milliliters of water per like 300 queries or something. which is pretty small, and then they put like a hamburger, which is like 10 to 30 gallons per burger that you're wasting water because of the livestock and all that stuff. So it's all in relation and stuff. It's like it really, if you want to get on the water, it's like a lot of that now is like water rights, and people are fighting over rivers and who gets what say over what. And there's all this desalination that we should be focusing on, and people like Pepsi have like rights to water in places, and they can just pump as much as they want. Yeah, at below municipal costs. Like that's the kind of stuff we should be focusing on. And like you can complain there are a lot of data centers up, because there are a lot of data centers up, but that's just kind of part of the capitalist system. Like it's in demand. Like people will say like, why is AI here? Nobody wants it. And it's like, well, the data centers are here because people clearly want it. So they're going to be built, and what really sucks is the people who live next to them have to deal with like the noise, the power usage. The one thing is though that they're picking remote areas to host these places because they get really cheap electricity, they get cheap land, so it's mostly people in these rural communities that have to deal with it, and it's not in the cities as much, but it's still it's something crappy that you have to deal with. But
they love it. Texas, man, like Texas's power grid is already not the best.
Texas power grid.
Texas power grid is already like, we don't heat our houses when it freezes because too many people turn their heaters on. So like the fact that they're building tons of data centers there, like my dad lives in rural Texas, and he's like, I don't know how I feel about this. It does not look good for our energy goals. So yeah, I think you're right. And I think if anybody listening to this, if anybody has an education on this or has seen really helpful articles, please leave us a link. I'm sure all of us would like to get our facts straight on this, but I think it's exactly like Peter said. There's so many memes floating around, and it's so much misinformation. It's hard to know what exactly is true, and it probably varies from data center to data center. I was mostly just curious, Sean, if they were like, if these were popping up in your neck of the woods too, because they are popping up here. Like these are $1 million facilities that are like popping up across the US.
No, well, it, like literally from my point of view, without having ever looked into it, I don't know. I haven't seen a cyberpunk data center appear near me anywhere. I personally haven't, but it probably is a thing because the UK would absolutely do that. But what you mentioned, Peter, about like how it compares to just doing anything else, that's exactly what crossed my mind when when I heard the water thing. I was like, well, isn't that how like every single operation in human existence works?
Yeah.
Like there's a cost.
That's just how data centers work, period. Like same way when you go on Facebook, when you go on YouTube, you Google something, you go to any big massive website, like they're all running on these data centers. And like Amazon has, the Amazon Web Services, like so much of the internet is on Amazon. That like a lot of this stuff is just on Amazon. Your favorite games probably run their servers on Amazon, So
Amazon powers like 60% of the internet or something crazy. It's a huge amount of the internet is powered by AWS.
Yeah. So people are like trying to, boycott AI because of the data centers. It's like, no, if you really want to boycott data centers, you will boycott anything having to do with the cloud, because this is what's taking up a lot of this stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess the whole thing represents a disconnect between the the urgency of how AI appeared and how quickly it became a part of like everyone's day-to-day life, and that connection with data centers, which is a disconnect between people who aren't like tech savvy, which is almost everyone, and like don't understand how that compares to just the rest of the world. And that's also interesting to me to see how it sparked that reaction, and how if those same people, if everyone knew the cost of everything, like how would we perceive like Amazon differently? Would we perceive technology as a whole differently? But the fact that there's a disconnect between knowing about AI and knowing about everything else means that like we won't see that. That's an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah. Like when we found out our phones were being created in like slave labor conditions.
The kids. Yeah.
Yep.
How many people threw away their phones? They're still using them now. So, that's great. And then using these minerals and rare earth elements that are, mined using very toxic and dangerous methods, dangerous for people, dangerous for the environment. There's people in Africa who are, shaving years off their life to get these things from mines and dangerous places, and just so you can get on your phone and go to and then post on these large data center websites about how much you hate data centers, right?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Right. It's
Yeah, that
so
is weird.
crazy.
Honestly, I wasn't even
I didn't mean
expecting to
to-
talk about that, but it was an interesting. That was actually a really interesting
Yeah.
segment. Yeah, I never thought about that. I
I'm
mean,
sorry, Sean. I didn't mean to derail us. I didn't
no,
mean to
we weren't
derail us. I just
derailed.
wanna
That's
know our data-
that's the point. That was good because I never honestly, since you mentioned the data centers, I didn't even know. I guess that's a thing that is being talked about in the US. I don't hear any talk about anything like that around here, although it probably is. It probably is a thing. It's just a top. It's just topical for you both right now, I assume.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of, I guess we'll reel back to GTA 6 a little bit. I mean, so personally, the reason the whole thing's weird for me is because I actually see AI probably making GTA 6 a better game if it's used like in the obvious ways, like just cutting down on time, like development time and resources. It almost seems like a no-brainer actually. Like if you can get ChatGPT, or not, I don't know the specifics, but if you can get an AI model to do something that's just monotonous and non-creative, I think non-creative is the word. If you can get an AI model to do the non-creative slog tasks, then that's a net positive for game development, I think. So it's very interesting to see that they're choosing not to do it.
Yeah, I think this speaks a lot about and this word gets tossed around a lot, but privilege. Like the privilege to be such a big company that you can publicly claim, whether they follow it or not, just the fact that they claim they don't use AI as a large company, that's a pretty big brag, because like the amount of time you save just doing like even if you just restrict it to, like you said, the more monotonous, like time saving stuff, like okay, I have to make an inventory system, like how much human creativity can go into making an inventory system, like, or like, oh, I need to render this torn piece of paper for debris on the road, like that's something that a smaller company wouldn't hesitate just to have AI just whip up a model for something like that.
Yeah.
Like the way you can just make these tiny little tweaks and fixes and tasks that would take people so much time, and that isn't exactly showing off their creativity or anything like that. Just that alone saves a bunch of time. So even doing that, but of course you can go farther along the way. You can do like oh man, we have to make like like coffee mugs, and we have to do tires and barrels and crates and stuff, and
Yeah.
like a lot of that stuff that's and AI can like do this crazy stuff where you just take a photo of something and like now you have a 3D asset of it. Like that's
a good example.
crazy for like indie companies who like don't have a team of animators to like make 3D assets, who it's just like them and like two guys in a basement.
Yeah.
That's like game changing. But for someone like Rockstar, it's lazy,
Yeah.
like because they can do it. So it's kind of a privilege thing. Like, do you have the manpower to do it? And that's kind of it's kind of what's draining AAA games right now, is because like there's just so much assets in 3D like realistic looking games. There's so much to go into every little texture, every little model and animation, and like it really raises the bar as far as what you need to get to not just be another little pixel game that looks like it was made on a NES or something like that. So that and then that again combines with a lot of the games are shifting toward like service games, right, where they're further dumping more money not into just making the game, but then keeping it going and adding stuff, and it's just more work, and I think that's part of, at least some part of, why we're seeing the industry kind of taking hits right now.
Yeah. Clyde, do you think, sorry, are you gonna speak? Go ahead.
I want to say, I think you nailed it on the head, Peter. It is a place of privilege. Like, it is because their name is Rockstar that they have the resources and the team and the talent to not have to rely on those tools. Like, they are so blessed that they've built this huge empire of a studio. So they have all the talent in the world, but it's exactly like Peter said, like I sympathize a lot more for indie developers in 2026, where just the software, the licenses can be expensive. It can be complicated. The tools are incredibly challenging to use, and you can't hire tons and tons of people if you're a small new fledgling studio. So yeah, no, I think it is a place of privilege, and it's just interesting to me that like some companies want to come out and make these statements, and it feels like I know we'll never have this data, but I would love to know what those kinds of statements, because that was a moment, right? GTA releases this statement, and then suddenly every gaming outlet is like, "Oh my gosh, GTA 6 takes a stand against AI." IGN runs an article, Polygon runs an article, Reddit, it blows up. I'd love to know what this does to their pre-order numbers. Like, I just would love to know like how much this affects, like whether or not this moves the needle on, do people support this or not support this. But it just, a lot of this does feel like theater in a weird way. Like a lot of
It
this
is.
does feel like
It's 100% PR.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyone who can read between the lines can see that. And it's like, and you're asking, what actual impact will it have? And it's probably not that much. I feel like this is another one of those loud minority things where like the anti-AI people are like just a minority of the people who would, make an actual impact. Well, like in Arc Raiders, I remember there was a bunch of hoopla over, oh, they used AI for the voices, and oh, this is an AI slop game, and we're like, now it's like still one of the top games. It's doing incredible. It's one of the best live service games on there. It's smashing records left and right. And what was another one? Me and my brother were playing Ready or Not, and didn't that get some hoopla over like AI assets or something like that in the game?
I don't think so. I don't think Ready or Not have an AI controversy yet. Yes, I don't think so. They have controversy. We covered the insane controversy, but
I remember reading a little bit about it somewhere. But
yeah,
like,
they
that was
really
another
do.
thing where like game still did well. It's like it's this little nitpicky stuff, like the Call of Duty thing. Call of Duty got a lot of flack for using AI stuff. It was probably one of the biggest recipients of flack for AI.
Yep.
And AI, I mean, Call of Duty isn't going anywhere soon. Its numbers haven't dropped noticeably from any of those events. It's just a very vocal minority, but and that's the thing. That's why they use it. That's why they're getting away with it, because they can. Because it's good enough for 90%, then that's good enough. If it saves you, a 50% cost,
like 99,
and like 99% of people don't care, then it's good enough. Like people are saying, like this and that will never, reach the same level of quality. It's like, that's not their concern. Their concern is it close enough to where enough people won't care that we won't lose enough to player base. That's the formula going on in their heads,
Yeah, it's funny because since AI became like an everyday thing, it was kind of interesting to see. Like, everyone was wondering who's going to try and do this in a game first. I don't remember which the first big one was. Does anyone know, like, what was the first bad one? Because there was a lot, so I don't remember. The first, like, really, what's the word? Like, obvious ones were, like, in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and shit. They had the pictures of, like, zombies with 6 fingers and shit. That's like that was a really big one, and I find that interesting because it was like, it was almost a conversation of who's gonna do it first and how long will it take, and the answer was it won't take long at all, and it's obviously going to be the exact people you think it'll be. So Activision, EA, etc. I find it funny just how like accurate and predictable that was, and everything you think about those companies is true because they will do exactly what you expect them to. And the reason is, like Peter said, is because they know it's good enough for like 99.9999% of people, and it's not going to affect sales. If it does affect sales the first time you do it, then maybe stop. But it didn't, and it will never. So there will be no stopping.
Yeah,
at least
I think the first couple of times. Oh, go on.
We've talked about this before. It's definitely a game of like everyone's doing it, but some people are better at hiding it than others, and we've talked about this before. But yeah, I think that's just going to be the game of cat and mouse that the social media is going to be playing with these companies for a long time.
Yeah. That whole situation with remember there was the people who were mad about the AI usage, and then so they got him kicked off the prize. What the people who complained said, okay, this is what we do. We complain about it, and then something's done about it. That's the lesson we learned. But the companies, they learned, okay, this is what we do. We said we used AI. We got crap for it. That's what we learned. That's their. You see, like they took two entirely different,
Right.
Things away from that, and so that's just something that, it's just got to be good enough. And if the first thing I saw was marketing. A lot of the marketing stuff was the first thing I saw him getting caught for AI doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, that's something that's that's not like game assets. It's just like an ad or something like that.
Twitter ads are bad for it. Activision for like Guitar Hero Mobile and shit did really bad, really bad AI art. Like it was like the version of AI images that were really wonky like years ago. They tried using that on Twitter, and everyone was like, "Okay, we see you." They were obviously like testing the waters, like dipping the toes in to see how that would kind of work. And obviously, they decided it was something to look into. Maybe the technology needed to improve, which it did.
Yeah, and the thing was, they weren't dipping the waters to see if it's good to ever try. It's just at that point in time, because they're just gonna try it again when it gets better.
I'm gonna keep trying until like something breaks, and then if enough people do it, then it will become normal, which is way easier for them.
Yeah, and it's gonna be harder and harder to tell. That's for sure.
Yes, I mean it already is like very difficult, and it's only been a few years.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close. Oh man, but I remember the first ones, like when it was really bad.
Yeah,
and you'd see like the little tiny like lose weight now, and like they'd have like a third eye somewhere on their body. It's like, what the hell?
No, I remember like the very very early AI image generations were just like. I remember my friends texting me like, just use this app, like use this website and put in something that you like. And look, it'll like make something that resembles it. And I remember typing in like, green field with man. And the image would just put out like a splatter of like green and blue with like a black line in the middle with like some smudges around it. And I was like, oh my God, wait. It just made that image because I asked, but it just looked like absolutely nothing. Like that wasn't even that long ago. That was like 4 years ago. That was like maybe 4 years ago, and the images were like you couldn't discern. There was no detail. You couldn't discern any detail. It was just like they would blur into shapes similar to what you asked for.
It was just all smear. It was very very dreamlike.
Yeah, dreamlike. Just dreamlike imagery that doesn't look like anything.
Yeah, and it was still interesting because it's like, whoa, that's all the things that I typed down. It's like it's close-ish, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, but now it's just completely accurate images, whatever you want to see. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's very, very wild. So it's gonna be interesting to see where things go from there.
It is.
Ooh, it's gonna be spooky. It is gonna be spooky what AI does with people and go.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got my friend. Will you put their face on this person doing this horrible thing? Oh, it's gonna be spooky. We are gonna live in weird times.
People are always like, "Oh my God, what's gonna happen when people can't tell if videos are real or fake?" And I'm like, I got some news for you, buddy.
I got some news
people
for you.
Can't tell what's fake now. Like,
I got some news for you. The video of someone saying "wait till you can't tell" was AI the whole time. That's literally the point we're at. Like, not to apologies to use this word in case it offends anyone, but boomers are bad for this. Like Facebook boomer, like parents, like my parents, they love AI. Like they use ChatGPT and shit all the time. But even then, they are constantly like sending and sharing what I consider to be very clear AI content constantly, like every day on a daily basis. It'll be like some crazy car accident that just looks like ridiculous, or like a celebrity doing something stupid, or usually animals, like a lot of dogs and cats and shit. Yeah.
The one that drives me crazy, Sean, is the one where it's like, look, this small African child made a giant fruit collage, and they made it in the face of Donald Trump or something, and it's like 8,000 apples perfectly making Donald Trump's face. Dude, my family's from Texas, so we get a lot of lot of like really deep red AI, like the worst AI you've ever seen. Like no, there is not a small African child there using apples to make Donald Trump's face. That is not real. But yeah, that stuff spreads like wildfire on social media.
I mean, Trump himself absolutely loves the shit. He's all like, every time there's news, he AIs himself. Like, do you remember the Superman poster he made of himself? Right, when James Gunn's Superman released in cinema, he posted a picture of like him in a Superman suit with his big or
the video he made of him in a jet defecating on protesters.
Yeah. Yes. That. Oh my god. Yeah. Or the video he posted online of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama as monkeys. Okay, let's skip.
Or how he'd rebuild Gaza as like a big casino.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Oh my
gosh. Insane.
No, I mean, it's also worth noting, like, even well before AI, people were doubting the truth or accuracy of like real videos for like 50 years. Like there are people that are today that still believe we never went to the moon, and they like look at the videos that NASA did of the moon landing, and they're like, see, the shadows don't line up perfectly, and this shadow's like this and that and this, and we never went to the moon. And it's like, I mean, if they already don't trust actual videos, like
now
holy crap, like AI
now they are fucked. Like, now they don't. Now they aren't going to believe anything. They're just going to go and live in like in isolation on a mountain somewhere. They're only going to trust the things that they can like grab with their hands. That's it. They're not even going to trust like. Well, they don't trust like the sky and shit because everyone thinks fucking space is fake and shit. So yeah, you only trust what's right in front of your eyes, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
They can't even trust their eyes because they they think the world's flat, even though they can see the curve. So go figure.
No, okay, they don't trust anything. Just stay in bed, lay in bed, just stay there.
Stay in bed for the rest of humanity.
Yeah,
that works.
Well, I didn't mean to derail us, but yeah, GTA 6 with AI is going to be really interesting. I really am curious to see how this is going to play out in the headlines and whether or not they're going to be caught with their pants down. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen here. But I do want us to get into Crimson Desert. Like, I really want to talk about Crimson. Are y'all good for Crimson Desert? Do you want a break? Are we good to go
do you mind if I break? Not because I actually need one, but because my mom is like repeatedly calling me. I think she needs something. So I'll take the break opportunity. Thank you. Sorry, breaking announcement.
The images that...
Breaking announcement. As of taking a break and reading Twitter, Bluepoint Games is being closed down.
What?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Demon Souls remake, etc. Peter.
Porquet? Why? What?
Was that the last game they worked on?
No, I think they make a lot of games, remakes mainly.
I'll have to look them up. I'm not too familiar with them.
They did the Shadow of the Colossus remake as well.
Amazing remake.
The Demon Souls remake was super great.
God of War, Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, Metal Gear Solid 2. Oh, they did the Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't those do okay-ish?
Oh, they did great, I think.
Okay. Like, I guess my question is just like, why? Like, all they did was release bangers. Like, people love the games they've been making and remaking. Like, what? That's crazy. Like, dang, that is really a bummer. Sony, please explain yourselves. That's horrible.
That's a live news break reported by Bloomberg. Bluepoint
really
Studios is being closed down.
Yeah, for years people have been saying they wanted them to do like the Bloodborne remake. They were like, "Hey, Sony." I
always thought they were secretly doing Dark Souls 1. That was always my little theory about them. But goodbye.
They'd crush it. They would absolutely crush that. Why? Man, that makes no sense at all. What a crazy time we live in.
I only saw some vague news though, so maybe they're going to release a game and then close down. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
In a time where remakes and remasters are like the thing to do, like whether I want it or not, like it's something that they lean heavily on. So that's weird. And they're not exactly doing the bad ones; they're doing the big boys.
The comments I'm seeing on the news are basically just that Sony is full like leaning into live service, and that's why that's probably like, you know. But like you said, remakes are so in and they do so well. Like it's still bizarre, but Sony are really
everything's there.
Yeah, Sony are really in live service, like this new Marathon and Concord and shit. Like they really want good live service.
That is a shame. The Demon Souls remake is sick. That is an amazing remake.
So like, Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, like I don't know what Sony is thinking right now. Like mind freaking blown. That is crazy.
That was I honestly that is ridiculous news. That might be some of the most insane news I've heard in a long time. That's a studio that I've always been like, oh, you know who's cool? You know who's actually cool? Bluepoint. Like, you know who like they usually when they drop something, it's like a crazy remake. Bluepoint. Wow, like
and they do a great job with it. Like the graphics are melt your eyeballs level of awesome. Like what? Like I don't know. I'm definitely confused. But geez, that is a crazy real time.
If that isn't a sign of the times in the development community, then I don't know what is.
Right.
Yes. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I mean, should we talk about Crimson Desert? Sorry, Clyde,
as long as the Sony executives get their bonuses, that's all I care about. Yes. I want those people at the top to keep making those $1 million bonuses. Like they got to make their bonuses. But yeah, let's do Crimson Desert. I'm so freaking excited. What are your thoughts on this game, Sean? Let us into your world.
So for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and months and probably years, because this game got announced in 2019. I remember this game being announced in 2019. It was announced with an insane trailer that even back then was like, okay, what the fuck? That looks like the best game of all time. That was now 6-7 years ago. And I've always been on the that looks too good to be true side, but recently the it looks too good to be true opinion has been getting blasted a little bit because it's kind of become like the annoying opinion to say that, but it's valid. I think it's a valid concern to have. And the reasons are present is because the game just looks unbelievable. Like it's a compliment at worst. At worst, it's a compliment to the stuff that they're showing. I don't know if you two have watched like many of the trailers. I've watched a couple of the trailers, and every time I watch them, I'm like, what the fuck? Like they do something ridiculous every time. I remember a couple of years ago they dropped a new trailer with like mech suits in it and shit. Mech suits and flying machines in the open world. I was like, oh my god. So then I looked it up and I was like, okay, so what's the catch? Like what kind of game is this? Is the catch that it's like a linear single player game that maybe has like a slight open world? But no, I researched it and the developers, Pearl Abyss, responsible for Black Desert Online, have said that it's like a full open world RPG game, a la like, all the ones you can think of, same format, just with these ridiculous graphics, gameplay that looks like so fun. They recently dropped a trailer as well with someone like flying around on a fucking plane, like miles and miles in the sky. Oh my god, what? Clyde,
you missed the best part, Sean. Okay. There's also like a whole like base building system, like build up your own army and barracks.
How did I know?
Yeah, it's like I didn't even expect that. So when I looked at the latest trailer, it was like, there's like a home designer part of this. Like what? Like
what?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of stuff in this game.
Yeah, it's very ambitious. But what's great is like just seeing what they already have is amazing. Like. Especially in that they've been working on it so long. And man, it's just everything looks so smooth. Like they talk about how much effort they put into like the animations and stuff, and everything looks so fluid, the way they move, and like the environments look incredible. Like I remember I think it was just like a guy hunting and he leans on the ground to pick up the hunt from the ground, and like the camera looks at the ground. And that was my wow moment when like I was just looking at the ground and like it was just a bunch of rocks and grass, but it looked like so random and so natural. Like it didn't look like an asset at all. It looked like they had copied some place. Like, and I was like, that's pretty good, just looking at dirt on the ground, I guess, dirt and rocks. But the environments look great, and I keep hearing about all the different like modes of travel you can do and how deep they're making. And I think what stuck with me was the developers. They said they didn't want the player to be like pushed in a direction. They wanted to enforce the player's curiosity and reward it. And I was like, that's really
a perfect
cool.
thing to say.
That's great.
That's the perfect thing to say.
Yeah, my favorite thing, like when I played Oblivion, I didn't go on the main quest. I just wandered, and I was just lost. Like if you could bring that back, just that experience of just enjoying the world, just going out on your own, and then the story is just like taking a back seat, like that sounds fun to me. So that got me pretty excited.
The movement looks next level. Like I every time I see a clip of the movement, I'm like, it appears that the main character can leap into the air, crazily, is a giant slingshot, and is also flying around like a bird. Like I'm
Yep.
like I like, and there are mechas shooting literal missiles at the character. I'm like, I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Oh yeah. The shot where he's like fighting like literally like a giant crowd of people, and like there's huge like ogres in the middle of it and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty fucking hype
And
right
like
there.
the last trailer they dropped was like, in this trailer number 72 over the past 6 years, we are swinging around like Insomniac Spider-Man. That was in the latest trailer. And also, we are scaling a mountain like Link from Breath of the Wild. That was just the latest trailer. That was just the latest trailer of many. Oh, also, here's a plane, and now I'm riding on a dragon, breathing fire, and now I'm in a mech suit.
Yeah, this is all the same game, by the way.
Yeah.
It's crazy how
if you land just a couple of the things they're trying to do with that game, then you already have a great game. But every day they're just like claiming something else. Not even just claiming, like it's in the trailers and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's even better. They're not like Peter Molyneux, who's like, oh, this will be in the game. It's like they're straight up, oh, this is already in the game. This is what we've been working on. This is deep in development, late in maturity. It's like, that's awesome.
I
love it,
and it's for this reason. The graphics are like photorealistic. It's like it's not really missing in any aspect. Like it's maxed out its character sheet, the game, which is why I think the too good to be true opinion is valid. I do agree that it's like a little bit pessimistic, but I think it's fair because we've seen AAA studios try and do things like this like forever and ever and ever, and normally there's always caveats, Cyberpunk said all of this stuff, and that game was from CD Projekt Red, and that game did like maybe 1 or 2 of the 100 things that it claimed it was going to do, and sometimes even showed in trailers and shit. Like Cyberpunk were like, you're going to be able to buy a house and live in Night City. Cyberpunk was the start of the NPC life meme, like claiming NPC life. That was the start of that like meme, and they never did any of that. So
I'd say it goes further back. It goes to back to Peter Molyneux. What was it? The game where
Fable,
you could be good, or Fable. Yeah. Fable. Yeah. Back then, he had promised NPCs would live their own lives.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
And blah blah. Like I think it says more about us as gamers, how jaded we are, that we could see something like this in front of us and we'll still be like, we'll wait till release. We'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, it's not like it's not hate. It's just
it's just having the rug pulled under us so many times that
it's trauma.
We're
it's literally trauma.
Yeah, it's trauma.
It is. It's like pain and suffering.
Yeah, but just the fact they're able to show this and not just promise it.
They are showing it.
A lot.
They are showing it, which is a big deal.
Because Cyberpunk never was able to show off any of that stuff.
No, they didn't.
Promised it, but they didn't show it off. So, yeah.
I'm officially in the tinfoil hat naysayer category. Like I see the trailers, the graphics are melting my eyeballs. I'm high on copium. I want it to be real. I want it to be a great game, but I've been burned too many freaking times. What I'm waiting for is I want to see a third party review it. I want to see SkillUp or IGN have a hands-on for 10 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay. I want to see somebody who is not the studio playing the game for 10 minutes. Maybe those are already out there, and if those are already out there, I need to see them. I need to go look and see if those are actually
I should have checked. I don't remember.
I'm nervous. I've been burned too many times by things that look too amazing, and I'm just like, this looks freaking amazing, and I'm getting really hyped for it. Am I going to burn myself here? Am I going to pre-order this and get it?
Stay hyped.
Yeah, be hyped. Enjoy it. Enjoy the hype.
It's out next month. Like it's not even far away.
We need something to look forward to.
Are y'all pre-ordering? Put your money where your mouth is. Are you pre-ordering?
Hell no.
Okay. Hype and pre-order. Let's put a line in the middle. Hold on a second. We need a division here. All right, you're melding these things together. One of these things is not like the other. Okay. All right, you could fully support a game and still not pre-order it. All right, I fucking love the hell out of Arc Raiders. I played the beta, I played the playtest, told all my friends about it, told them how amazing this game would be, still didn't pre-order it. No, fuck pre-order.
There's no need.
That's fair.
There's never any need. They're all digitally available. Yeah.
But there's special outfits. If you pre-order
Shut the
early, you
fuck
get a
up.
special gold outfit with a red shield. No, okay, all right,
Do they do
okay.
that?
That
I
has been
don't-
fully.
I don't know if
divorced in
they
my
do
mind.
that. I think they'll do deluxe editions and shit. I'm sure.
They said no DLC at the release, no microtransactions
Oh, that's
at
good.
release.
Okay.
That's good. Love to see it. Love to
That's
see it.
great thing number 742 that they've said.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The thing is, if they land, I mean, in terms of good quality and it works and it's mechanically sound, even like 3/4 of the things they've claimed, then they're actually competing with GTA 6 this year. They actually are. If even the majority of the things they said is true, and it's of good quality and the story's interesting and the game's actually fun to play, then
and if GTA 6 isn't the amazing, flawless product that everyone's hoping it'll be, it'll be just that much easier to compete with it. Because
wouldn't that be an insane outcome?
Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah, so many years of people thinking, oh, GTA 6 is just going to beat everything out of existence. No game of the year is going to win when GTA 6 drops, and now it may not even get game of the year if it doesn't actually live up to its standards. And this game, which has been showing a lot of promise, because I mean, how much stuff from GTA 6 have you ever seen that gave you even half the same excitement as this, as Crimson Desert has been?
No,
like,
they've shown minimal gameplay.
Yeah, very very middle of the road, nothing jaw dropping. Whereas this thing is like, wow, like that I could actually get behind.
But the GTA 6 marketing is planned for summer, obviously. So that's when we'll really start to see what we're dealing with there, I suppose.
Yeah, Crimson Desert does look really good.
When was Crimson Desert set to release?
In March. Next month.
In March?
Oh, yeah, next month. Yeah, it's really, really close. Which is crazy because it's been like a game that's been on everyone's watch list for so long. Since 2019. It's so bizarre that it's actually coming out. It feels like
for the first bit a while, I was ignoring it because, like you said, Black Desert. Same devs.
Yeah,
I had no interest in the Black Desert. Nope. So I heard Crimson Desert. I was like, Crimson Desert, Turquoise Desert, whatever. I don't care. I don't like their products. It's all the same. I didn't even look into it.
For reference, Black Desert Online, easily their most successful previous game, is a full-on MMO. Because I tried it one time when I was younger.
Absolutely massive.
It's a huge MMO
in Asia. Yeah, it's big in Asia. Yeah,
it's a third-person MMO, I believe, if I remember correctly. I did play it.
I think so. Yeah.
So there isn't really a track record because that game's completely different, which is a little red flag. I'm not gonna lie. I know it sounds like I'm hating, but we've seen this before, where a studio that doesn't have a track record starts coming out with these crazy claims and crazy trailers, and it doesn't end well. Like it's happened many times before, so it's not unreasonable to kind of be worried about that. Well, like you said, It's been a long time since they announced it. I'm sure they were developing it long before they announced it anyway. So the game's been cooking for just like a decade, probably like a long time. It's not impossible. It's not impossible that this is real. People shouldn't be writing it off. Absolutely not. No way. There's absolutely no reason to write it off.
And if you want to get excited for it, I say, hey, get excited for it.
Absolutely.
Like you can get excited for it and kind of tend your expectations. But it's good to be excited for a game because with all these remakes coming out, just kind of like, oh, that would be nice. It's good to have a title like, oh my god,
new game. Like a new IP.
A new game. A new IP, yeah, right.
But don't you pre-order it. You might get Cyberpunk.
There's no
need.
All
got Cyberpunk.
There's no need to pre-order it. It's gonna come out at the same price. There's no need to pre-order. So I've just come up with an interesting question regarding Crimson Desert. Considering what we know and what they've claimed and what we've seen, what would be a big caveat for either of you two? Like, if it came out and there was something that just was off about it, what would that be in order to the thing that would make you go, now I see, like this makes sense now why it looked so good? What would it be? I have a couple of ideas.
Yeah, my main one would be like if the combat is actually like bad.
Yeah,
that would ruin the whole game for me. Like if I have all these amazing systems for travel, building your house, talking with NPCs, building your own story and builds and all these items and everything, and like the actual core combat part of the game is just like, really middle of the road, kind of been there, done that. Like that would kill it for me. Absolutely.
Yeah, Clyde.
Ooh, that's a really tough question. I don't know. I just like I have this. I feel like I'm getting flashbacks to Cyberpunk where there were like videos shown of like car chase sequences with with Night City Police and things like that, and none of those were in the game. None of that
Yeah.
was actually in the game. Like I feel there is a nagging voice inside of me that's like, what if you can't really grapple hook to giant flying mecha birds? Maybe you can do that. And I'm wondering like,
That was a funny
are
sentence.
there? Yeah, it's a horrible. I mean, yeah, it is a weird, wonky.
That was a very new
hashtag.
sentence that hasn't been
Yeah,
spoken
great.
before.
I want to be able to grapple hook to the giant mecha birds, but like, I am excited for the game, but like, there is a part of me that's wondering, like, is this a Cyberpunk situation where they're showing one thing, but does that actually represent things you can realistically do in the game, or that are even in the game? I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that that's just an ill-formed warrior concern. But I think honestly an hour of like third-party gameplay is going to resolve this for me. If SkillUp's going to have a video, IGN will have a video, I'll watch somebody play this game for 30 minutes and I will know, okay, they walk the walk, or this is just total what we saw in the promo was just totally BS, and those systems clearly can't exist in this game. So I'm keen to see.
And this is unrelated to the question I posed, which I want to answer myself in a second. But the one thing that you hit on with the fact that you want to see third party gameplay is that the way trailers play games and the way like the average person play games is completely different. It's completely different.
Right.
Like, what if there is birds flying around, but then when you play the game, it's actually just like a static bird that flies around and you grapple hook to it? I feel like that's like very plausible, actually. But it's obviously that's one little example, but just things like that in the trailer, he's like, moving the camera around all slowly. He's got the graphics with ray tracing on max settings, and he's like, being all cinematic and trailer-like footage. But if it's not, if it's not like an actually well implemented mechanic, then when you actually, especially if you played the game for like tens and tens of hours, then that's going to have a completely different feel when you play it yourself. But back to my question about like what could I see being a caveat? Well, first of all, these are things that would be really bad, but I honestly don't think these are true. And that is either the open world will be like extremely limited, which would explain why the graphics are so good, and would explain why all the mechanics are so deep, because they've cut down on open world. I don't see that happening because the devs repeatedly emphasize how important exploration is. And another one is really short, but again, I don't see that happening because that would be one of the worst things they could cut down on, because they've been talking about how expansive and large the game is. That's like the big deal. So I don't think it would be really short. In terms of ones that I think are realistic and might actually happen, I think Peter got the best one, and it's one that we won't know until we play it. And it might be a Witcher 3 situation where the gameplay really lets it down. Like, I think that's the most likely outcome, because we have seen gameplay in the trailers, like combat, and it looks quite fun. But it doesn't look like, I can't tell without playing it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You really can't tell.
The clips are too short.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Montage, like very montage-like clips. And there's loads of games where the combat looks cool, but like feels either really janky because development has just been focused elsewhere. It feels really janky, feels really floaty, which is the issue that like The Witcher 3 had. Dragon's Dogma 2 had like clunky, glitchy combat as well, even though they made it look really great in the trailers. Yeah, I think that's one that I really see happening, is the gameplay feels buggy, clunky, buggy. Yeah. I think that's possible.
Just unfun. Yeah, Witcher 3 was the example I actually had in my head. Like, I had heard so many good things from that game. I'd see clips of, all the different, monsters and the quest lines and everything. And like, I was like, okay, I'll play this, just to see how I didn't even make it past the tutorial. I started going in doing the different, styles of combat. And I'm like, this is it? This doesn't feel satisfying at all. Like, I can't believe this is this is what the glut of the game is going to be. Even though I know how high quality the stories, the characters, the landscapes, the quests, the monsters, even though I know for a fact all that stuff is really good and people are raving about it, just the fact that I won't be able to enjoy it because my way of going between those things is just this trudgery they call combat. Like, man, that killed the game before I even got into it.
It did for me.
Yeah.
The combat in The Witcher 3 is genuinely hard to get behind. Like, it made playing the game just feel extremely fucking tedious and difficult. Yeah.
And crucially, it is super easy to cherry pick the 1 or 2 second clips that look cool in Witcher 3 combat, like him casting art or casting one of those spells, and you're like, wow, that spell looks so awesome. But that's just a 1 or 2 second clip taken way out of context and put into a trailer. It's like, it's about the experience, which is why I value third-party players getting their hands on it and getting to play more than a minute of a slice of gameplay. I'd like to see, a pretty sizable chunk of gameplay, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. I really hope it delivers an awesome experience. It looks great. I mean, the graphics are out of this world. The movement looks out of this world. I mean, the hype is off the charts. It's crazy.
Speaking of Boomer, my dad called. He's a lawyer. His job is talking to people. He's on the phone hours and hours each week, possibly each day. And like, it's funny. It's like, hello. One second, Peter. And then I heard a beeping on my phone. It was my dad calling me. And it was call waiting that he was calling me through the phone call I was already on. I'm like, oh God. And I switched the call and he's not there. And I switched back and now he's not there either. So
that's funny.
What the hell's going on? These people are running our country now.
No, there's so many people at my work that are like that, like staff. They just like, even though they interact with technology all the time, they just can't like get their heads around any of it. Like a smartphone. So we got these new scanners introduced at work that like they are a smartphone modified with the scanner sensor on top, and you log into them the same way you do on Android. And like, you know how every phone ever has the swipe up thing where you swipe up and then it gives you, then you either asks for a passcode or it just opens depending on like your settings. And we were trying to explain to them like how to do. These people all have smartphones, by the way, like all of them. We were trying to explain to them like just swipe up to get the passcode thing, and they were going like this.
Yeah.
And the rest of us are standing there like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, my assistant manager got like angry. He was like, are you joking? Like, what the fuck are you doing with that scanner? Like, what is this? Yeah, really bad. Like, but these people own smartphones. And I'm assuming they unlock it the same way we all do. It's extremely bizarre. Also, like
that's how I felt when Samsung made a difference. Like, that it used to be like to like pull up search or something, you'd like scroll from the bottom and you'd have know all your stuff there. And like, now they changed it. Now you drag from the bottom left corner.
My phone changed the dragging system to corners as well, and I'm the boomer now because it's throwing me off. The corners are poorly defined. Yes, they are poorly defined.
If you have any sort of case on your phone, like
you can't reach
a portion of your corner is just unacceptable. So like, there's the actual precise place you have to put your fingers, this small spot, and if you're off, then it's a bottom swipe or it's no swipe at all, and it's like, it's so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, my Samsung is
it's backwards.
When it's open, it's like top left is a swipe down, top right is a swipe down, and top center is a swipe down.
Yeah.
So it's my thumb is kind of big. Like how do I know which part is like, is this middle or is this top left? Like what? Yeah. Right, I guess maybe it's an update made for bigger screens. I don't fucking know. But yeah, no, boomers are absolutely
like, I don't have to look at my phone. I just boom. That's a scroll from the bottom. But like, whether I hit a corner or not, it's like, I don't fucking know.
No, I bet that update absolutely ruined the boomers. Like, holy shit.
Oh, it had to. Yeah.
Sean, did I tell you about the time I had my dad try the MetaQuest 3 Batman game?
No. Did he jump into the TV? Did he jump into the TV? Dude. I see so many videos of people fully like off the ground diving into the TV. I see so many.
No. My dad, I love my dad. He's amazing. He's in his 70s. He was here visiting us for over the summer, and he was like, "Oh, so what's new in gaming?" And I was like, "Oh, you got to try this Quest thing." And we put on the Quest thing on his head, and it blew his fucking mind. I mean, he's like, "I can hear the rain. I can hear everything around me," but like he couldn't understand how to play it. I'm like, Pops, you just got to move the joystick. You got to like you use your arms. The system is detecting it. I will tell you, he never got past the ladder because the ladder requires you to like grab and hold and climb the ladder. And he just like he stood there at the ladder and just flailed around for like 20 minutes. I actually took a video of it. I'll have to show y'all. It's really funny, but man, I mean, yeah, even phones are too complicated. So imagine a Quest 3 on.
I tried it with my parents who. They're not boomers, but they're in that age area where new technology like VR and AI is really a lot for them. And trying VR is so insane for someone who's older because I mean, as you know, Peter, because me and you love our VR. It's actually so good. Like even as people who interact with tech a lot, like VR is actually really good. Like it's really realistic. Nice. It really does feel and look like things are right in front of you or around you, and the audio and everything. So imagine someone who doesn't interact with like, because we play games and shit all the time that have like realistic graphics. Imagine people who don't do that, like doing that, like playing VR for the first time, and their reaction is priceless every time. I think it like ignites some sort of weird fear in people. It did with my parents anyway, in terms of like, I don't understand this, like I don't comprehend this, so this is frightening. I'm in danger right. Because this feels like I'm in a real place. I got one of my parents' friends to play to do it was either the Quest 3 or the Rift S, because I've had a couple. I don't remember which one, but it has like a demo mode, that comes like pre-installed, and I didn't like full accountability. I did not know what was in this demo, okay? But this person had never seen VR before. Next thing, they're being like chased by a T-Rex, all right? They're being like chased by a T-Rex. They're walking on a plank off the edge of like a 1,000-story building, and she was screaming. Like, I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know it was in this demo. I thought it would just be like flowers and shit. But oh my god. Yeah, I thought it would just be like I don't know, like a something pretty, some 3D assets, but no, she was chased by a T-Rex. I'm pretty sure there was like some clowns at some point, and then she was hanging off a skyscraper. Yeah,
what kind of demo is this? Like heart attack simulator? Good.
No, it actually is. It was an impressive demo because it took you through like every really shocking like VR scenario. Yeah, it was good. Just don't give it. Just cool. Like seriously, don't give that to like old people, because I think that like especially if they don't know what they're in for, that would really, really, really cause a problem. Like it's like seriously scare people. But no, I see so many videos of people who struggle with the disconnect between moving in the game, in the headset, sorry, and moving in real life. So a lot of people who aren't familiar with it will like walk around the room. Like if you you'll notice if you give them to people who don't play, that they'll start like walking around instead of using the controls, because the controls are something that they don't understand because they've never used like a controller before or anything. So I see so many videos of people like running into walls. I've seen videos of people like punching their family members by accident because they're playing like boxing or some shit. Yeah. I've also seen a wall punch, like really bad wall punches as well. And the best one, which has become like a subgenre of VR video, is the headbutt the TV, like the dive into the TV. That's a classic.
Yeah. Anyway, the one with the plank off the top of a skyscraper. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Just like a plank of wood they're walking. Yep. I don't even know what that's from, but I've seen so many clips of people.
I think it's from
freaking out to the.
Well, I imagine that's been in a few games. To be fair, but the one time I did it, it was a montage of like scary scenarios, and that was one of them. Was being on a plank, and it is scary because depth perception and distance is extremely realistic in VR. Like extremely realistic, way more realistic than like a 3D cinema. Like it's not even on the same level. VR is
not at all.
They've completely mastered the ability to simulate something being far away and something being close. It's completely realistic
to a degree that people like me get motion sickness.
Yep.
The second I move, and the world doesn't move with me, it's just immediate, and unfortunate, but
Yeah, me and Peter have talked
Crazy.
about VR a lot over the episodes, but like we remember how shit VR was when it started. Do you remember, like, because they used to be really rare to the point where they'd have them in like public places, like conventions and shit. And even then, it would just be like a 2D screen, but people would still like it was still like kind of impressive. And it would require like a full rig. Like I imagine someone that brought like a PC with them, and it required loads of sensors. It required loads of sensors and loads of loads of cables, big power supply, and they were just like a kind of 2D screen that would move when your head moved. So the technology really there was just like gyro. Really, it was like really good gyro and hand tracking, but they used to have really big hand sensors with like big balls on them. That was like how they used to do it, and it's come such a long way since then.
Jeez.
Anyway, yeah, really random VR tangent because we were talking about boomers. Yeah,
I just want to say it's not just boomers that get tripped up by the illusion. I mean, I've punched Coke cans while being Batman in the Arkham game. So, boy, oh boy, yeah, man, oh man, those games are great. I mean, the game is super sick and the technology is amazing. But it's not just boomers getting fooled, yo. I've definitely punched a Coke can across the room.
I'm usually quite good for it because I mean, you like I'm sure you do on yours as well. Both of you, you can set up the perimeter that. The perimeter starts to glow if you get close to it, and I've gotten really good at completely planting my feet. Like it's a rule I have when I play VR to never like I can like if I lose balance or something like move my I can move my feet, but I will never walk or turn anywhere in my room because it's too risky. Like there's walls around me, my whole desk setup is around me. I'm not gonna go anywhere near it. Like I plant my feet that way. I always know where I'm facing, like for a reference point. And that way I'm completely comfortable in terms of like range of movement. I can punch and stab whoever the fuck I want. And like
I got a good allotment of space that you can take a few steps in either direction, which helps a lot with especially that I can't use the kind of movement they have.
Yeah.
But it's really great just being able to walk in VR and like it feels like you're walking in it and like you reach at the ground and you can see everything like you said, the perspective really sells that you're there. The way they split the different eyes and like the refresh is so high that like
high refresh rate.
Really and it's so much sharper now. The latest headsets, so it's great. It's still kind of a really niche.
It's surprisingly niche because I think people don't understand how good it is, especially the Quest 3, which sells for like £350. I don't know what that is in dollars, but honestly, the Quest 3 is an amazing deal. The Quest 3 is a really, really good deal. Like £350 is slightly cheaper than a PS5, but PS5 is not like a VR is like this new insane technology. When you get one, you'll understand why it's worth £350. And the Quest 3 specifically can run like that's a standalone that you can also plug into PC. So if you have a PC, you're getting so much content. Because you might own games that are already playable in VR anyway, so you can you can plug it in with the cable that you get with it. You can plug it into your PC, or you can play it standalone, which is able to run like decent games in standalone as well. It's the Quest 3 is actually a fantastic deal. Anyway,
it is. It really is.
Yeah, shall we talk about some of our other topics that we've got today?
All right.
Do it.
Well, this was a little one. I don't know how much we'll talk about this. Actually, I'm torn between two. No, it's okay. What do you think about the fact that over like 2025 and 2024 specifically, there was a phenomenon where games that were selling for like 30, 40, 50 pound were like always nominated for Game of the Year and were extremely successful. And which is funny because the AAA scene, despite all of that, will still go for the $70, $80, £70, or it might be the same still. I don't remember. You know what I mean? The full price, because they all have the same like full price, right?
Yeah.
But then for some examples, like a really recent one, Hades 2, that game's like $25, $30, and it's nominated for Game of the Year. Helldivers 2, obviously being like one of the biggest games of the last like 5 years in terms of like cultural impact. That game, that game 30? I think it was 40, is now 30. So that's an extremely cheap game. Hollow Knight Silsong is in the 20 to 30 range as well, I believe. Expedition 33 was 45. I forget, but I think you get the point I'm going for. They're under 50, which is compared to 70 is like is way cheap. That's so much. That makes you feel so much better as a consumer to pay that amount of money. Black Myth Wukong is my last example. That game sold at 50 when it came out, and that game's like a 30-hour long masterpiece. Yeah, that game was not full price, Clyde.
Mm-hmm.
Really great.
Yeah,
that is crazy. I did not know that. That is really crazy.
And at the opposite end, you have all these terrible flops coming out from millions of dollars invested, and people aren't even playing it 2 weeks afterwards. Studios are closing left and right. They're dumping money into these live service games that just aren't taking off because they need the traction to stay alive. And it's a very weird dichotomy that's going on.
Expedition 33, I think, has to be the best example just because it swept Game of the Year and swept every single award ceremony in existence. And that game was like 40, 45, which is just unbelievable because any AAA studio is selling that at 70 because it's a fairly long game, like around the 30, which 30 seems to be the sweet spot for like these single player games. It's like a 30-hour long, pretty well crafted, full story, content rich game. And it was extremely successful at that price point.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's very well done. Yeah.
What do you think that like says about the industry? I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's just like the examples I gave with the live service games. They just think throwing more money at it is what gets the good game out. And a lot of these, there was a lot of hoopla when they were announcing the $70, price range, and not many people were doing it. But when they did do it, there was a lot of flack, and now you're seeing that it's a lot of the huge companies that can afford to lose a player base over the pricing because they'll still sell it, like Call of Duty. However many people they lost from
FIFA
selling at $70, they'll still sell copies enough that it's worth it, But all of these indie companies, they can't risk it, so they have no choice. But it's such a great value that it's like it's just way more attractive, something new, fresh and new for cheap versus something kind of old and beat up and for $70 and
covered in MTX, by the way, and it asks for more money constantly.
Day one DLC, by the way.
DLC.
Yeah.
What game was that recently that had the big day one DLC? Was it Pokemon? Yeah, Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon had day one DLC.
that was a really funny story. But yeah, I also find it funny that a lot of the games that are 70 are like the yearly releases. That's so bizarre. Because Expedition 33 and like the likes of like Hades 2 and shit are games that are like once in a lifetime, like come around. I mean, and I know Hades is a second. I'm talking about Hades as a franchise, obviously. Like these like unique, really interesting, like artistic games like Expedition 33 are the ones that are not full price. But the games that are full price are like FIFA and Madden and Call of Duty and NBA and shit. It's really, really, really bizarre because that's way less work and way less value if you play them yearly. You're just getting way less value, and the studio is doing less work because they're just building off the last one every single time. Like Call of Duty barely changes every time they release one, but they'll happily charge 70.
Yeah, and people will buy it because it still exists apparently. So yeah.
It's crazy. It's definitely wild. I think also it's worth noting that the ownership landscape is changing. I mean, a lot of people are playing via services like Game Pass or PS Plus or whatever, however they stream games or they rent games through these services, I guess, or they have access to these libraries. So it becomes even more unpalatable to see a $70 or $80 price tag and go, am I going to want to play that forever? Is that a game I'm actually going to want to play, in 5 years time? Or am I just throwing $100 at a game, just to play it right now? It's tough. Yeah. I also think one great example of like a really cheap game that had tons of content that really popped off was Vampire Survivors. Like Vampire Survivors cost like $3 or something, and people played that for like hundreds of hours and really enjoyed it. It's like, it's just the value proposition is getting harder and harder as the price tags get bigger and bigger, and it's going to be interesting to see what what games are able to crack that code. I mean, GTA 6 will sell no matter what their price tag is. They price the base edition $100. I think people will still probably buy it, but most other games these days are going to have a tough time. Like unless you have a really strong brand behind it, it's going to be really tough. Like I like Avowed from Obsidian. Really cool game, really cool ideas. I think the price tag was probably way too high. Whatever they charge for is probably way too high. It's like if it's a brand new IP or if it's something people aren't used to, if you don't have Harry Potter or Grand Theft Auto or Mario slapped on the cover of it, it is really tough to ask for full price in today's market. Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah. You had a good point with the game subscriptions. Like,
Mhm.
do I want to pay $70 for this new game that I might just play for a month? Or do I want to pay $20 for the subscription, play it for that 1 month?
Well, get a bunch of
and
games.
then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's on top of that, all these other games.
Mhm.
But I'm also getting this game that, maybe 2 months or something like that. And still, not have to put down such huge, investment that it's becoming to buy these games now. It's crazy.
Yeah, you also hit the nail on the head a little bit
Wild.
with the microtransactions, because in the same way that the yearly releases are always $70, it's also always the games with microtransactions. Like it's such a clear like divide between the AAA slop games and the cool Chad not full price games. Like they're
Yeah.
completely
Right.
different. Like Expedition 33 will launch for 40 and it will not have microtransactions, which they could have used as cosmetic microtransactions to make some money. But there's such a big divide between the greed of those two groups, those two entities, that EA, for example, will take the 70 and then kind of expect like more on top as well, even though their game is
Yeah.
yearly and their game is probably not as artistically creative as other cheaper games.
Yeah.
And
I
you
think
gotta buy
people
the
are.
battle pass.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
battle
Battle
pass is
Pass,
half
yeah.
the fun.
Yeah, Battlefield, like Battlefield, yeah. Fuck Battlefield 6.
Yeah.
Sorry.
These are. It's starting to become clear which companies are just for making money and which companies are just trying to make games for gamers.
Yeah.
It's kind of the old Blizzard versus the new Blizzard in a way.
Right.
Clyde knows.
Clyde
Clyde knows about
Oof.
that.
that like gave Clyde
Yeah.
flashbacks.
Yeah, I felt
Oh,
that
yeah.
sigh from here.
Culture, yeah. Watching a company's culture change in the span of several years is pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely an interesting time, and I'm curious to see how the community reacts to these high price tags, and I'm curious to see studios like pricing themselves like as best they can, and trying to get people to jump onto it. But yeah, I mean I'll be honest. I personally like. I know we've talked about our gaming icks before, like something that turns us off from a game, like over sexualization or things like that. I really hate seeing aggressive monetization. I really don't like seeing battle passes and microtransactions and time limited purchases and coins and third party currencies. Like I'm just like, ugh, I'm so fatigued by that. And I know that they have become a staple for a lot of those games, but it's one of the things that I really just do not get a kick out of. Like I don't know, man. There's kids every Christmas that are like waking up and they're like, you know what I want for Christmas, Mom? I want freaking Robux or whatever they're called. They want the Roblox currency, and I'm just like, that's so mind blowing to me. Like when I was a kid, I wanted a game, I wanted a piece of hardware, I wanted a Lego set, but now it's like I want this currency in Overwatch. I'm like, dang, dude, I don't want gems. Fucking give me the gems out of here. Fuck that shit. Like, just crazy. We're living in crazy times, man. Gaming is
Yeah.
changing.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm blind to that because I'm just don't care about it, and it has to be pretty atrocious to affect me. And it's stuff like Battlefield 6 level stuff is pretty nat. Like whenever I start the game up, I get at least 2 different screens
Yeah,
trying to
fuck
show
the-
me new shit
fuck
to
the
buy. It's like,
screens.
what the fuck is this?
off.
Fuck that.
Like, I bought your game and like you're throwing this shit at me, Like, but yeah, I'll play, like stuff like Rivals that has like 2 or 3 different kinds of currency or something. it's whatever. As long as it doesn't affect the core gameplay, I don't care too much. But at the same time, just seeing how many different currencies they have for something can be really nauseating. You know, it definitely leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and I'll think less of the game when that kind of crap happens. You know, for sure.
Yeah, they've become staples. It's like this is all like a thing now. You know, even great games that people universally love. I mean, I haven't played Helldivers 2. I have to imagine Helldivers 2
What?
has what I haven't played it. No, I haven't played it. I've only watched gameplay and seen people like it.
Wow.
But I mean, that game has a battle
Clyde.
pass, right? It's gotta have those things,
It has
right?
many. It has many. Yeah, it has loads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it's a great game, and I don't think anybody would deny that. So it's like even great games have found themselves, they use the staples of this industry, and
But
They get
but
a slight
now,
pass.
now,
Me and
now,
Peter
now,
immediately
hold up,
just had like
hold up.
eyebrows raised.
we're like, wait,
We're gonna
wait.
say the
Let's
same
stop
thing.
the train. Let's
Oh,
stop
yeah.
the Clyde train.
Yeah, go ahead.
You
Go
could
ahead.
actually buy every single one of the battle passes
Everything.
just by playing the game. There's no
Oh,
need to
great.
get the currency. The currency would make it faster.
Make it
but they're
way
all
faster.
attainable through pure gameplay. So
Oh, that's sick. That's great. That is a
that's
really
a
awesome.
rarity.
It's incredible,
mechanic.
and it's not
That's a
like
rarity.
it's slow, but it's genuinely doable because there's guides online of how to do it
Wow.
like as fast as possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can totally cheese it, but just like the more you play, the easier it becomes. But
That's
just
amazing.
the
That's
fact
great.
it's
I didn't know.
possible is absolutely amazing. In a time where like I remember I got Street Fighter, was it 5 or something, and it had like 8 or 10 characters that it came with, which is like an okay amount. But like when you go to the character select screen, there's like 30 squares on either side of these 10 characters in the middle, and you have none of them. They're all question marks. They're like, where's all the rest of the characters?
Jesus Christ.
You don't have them. You only have 10 out of like
Yeah.
30 or something. It's ridiculous. And
Good
like
grief.
there were some ways you could like buy it through in-game play, but like it was very restrictive and it took like a lot of time. Somebody calculated the amount of time to unlock all the characters through actual gameplay, and it was like, more time than you're willing to put in any reasonable, game. So that kind of shit, which just is like, I felt like I was sold an incomplete game at that point, Like I can understand, oh, this is DLC. We put extra effort into it to make this, so pay us a little more. But the
Yeah.
day one shit, inexcusable.
No,
And
hey, inexcusable.
absolutely inexcusable.
Absolutely not. No game.
Yeah.
I will read any game for filth. It's like you bought this game for $70 or $60, and we've got a Pokemon logo on it, and now we want 20 to 40 more. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm reading you for filth. No way.
Yep.
Absolutely unacceptable.
Pretty much ransom at that point.
Yeah.
We made this part of the game, but we won't let you have it unless you pay up.
Also, this is going to be extremely random. But Clyde, you mentioned Roblox and Robux recently. Well,
Mhm.
a moment ago. I recently went on Roblox, don't judge, to play like random horror maps and shit. And while on there, I made an interesting observation. So do either of you understand how Roblox works? It's basically a platform where there are like millions of different like random bullshit games. Most of them are brain rot.
Yeah.
Some of them are actually
Right.
pretty okay that you go on. How many players do you think some of the more popular maps have, like in a ballpark?
Jeez, I don't know. I mean, I know Roblox is very, very, very popular. I mean, I
Hundreds
know
of
it's a huge level.
thousands, I'd
Interesting.
imagine.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess 10K plus. I don't know. I'm curious. What
10K
is the
plus.
answer?
Peter, any sort
Hundreds
of
of
ballpark?
thousands, yeah.
So how does 700K
100K.
sound?
That sounds absolutely insane.
How does 700,000 sound?
It's pretty insane.
That's nuts.
My jaw was on the ground. I went on Roblox and there was a section for like trending maps, and there's games on there that are like 680K current players.
Wow.
How are they
That's pretty
even
wild.
running that many players at the same time? The witchcraft.
It's pretty crazy.
I think they're probably instanced.
Yes,
or something
yes,
like
they are
that.
instants. They are instants.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But just the fact that somebody made that map for
Bro forgot the name. Roblox. Yeah.
Roblox. But just the fact that somebody made that map for that game and like they are now entitled to a percentage of the monetary
100%,
stuff, right?
yeah, 100%. You have
That
to be.
goes
You're
into it,
running
right?
the entire fucking game. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they're actually making money off that, and they're pulling like big boy numbers,
Yep.
like
This is
actual AAA releases.
enterprise.
Would love to get 700K. That is insane. Must be swimming in cash.
Well, yeah, that's just a couple of the top ones. As you go down, there's
Yeah.
like 500K, 400K, 300K, 200K, etc. And then there's probably like 100 game modes that have like 50K. Like you add all this together, and you are reaching like countries worth of population, of people.
Wow.
Well, I say people, I mean
Pretty
small
wild.
children, probably. But yeah.
And that's why I think GTA 6 is gonna do numbers if they lean into the player
Platforming.
creation.
Yeah.
That really made 5 so big.
Yeah.
Like the more freedom they give with them, the bigger it will blow up, because like people are desperate for like the adult version of Roblox, I think.
That's Fortnite's well, Fortnite obviously isn't adult, but Fortnite has like the realistic 3D Unreal Engine graphics, which is Fortnite does that over Roblox. Yeah.
Right. More modern, more realistic.
Like GTA 5 RP. Platform.
Yeah. But yeah, like if they nail that, then that's huge jackpot for them. They could really go to the moon if they hit it right. So interested to see how that goes.
I think they may try. I believe they may try.
They're definitely trying. It sounds like they're trying.
Do you think they do it on launch?
They know.
Or do you think they do it on the delayed PC release, which I think is like all but confirmed to happen, because Rockstar don't release their games on PC.
There's no way they do it on the console. Like the PC players are going to be the one designing this crazy stuff. Like Roblox wouldn't have done this if it was restricted to a console. No, it wouldn't be anywhere near this. Like,
well, that's the thing about. Sorry, go
ahead. People need PCs to program, That's just how it is.
Yeah, that's the thing with Roblox as well. You could like, I could probably play it on this fucking watch if I wanted to. Like, you can play it on absolutely literally anything. Like, like a tablet, all your tablets, all your phones, all games consoles. I think, are they on Nintendo?
Actually, they'd have to be.
That's a good question. That's got to be. Yeah,
they have to be.
I don't know, but I'd be shocked.
I'd be shocked if they're not. Yeah, all consoles, basically any kind of mobile, any operating system, really. It's available on, and it's so baby-like that it can run on those things as well. Obviously, kind of like Minecraft.
It's such a crazy situation, because like, and this is my inner boomer talking, but like, to my mind, I mean, I know Roblox is like this huge gaming empire now, but to my mind, Roblox, when they were in their infancy, Roblox was just a crappy Minecraft ripoff, right? Like that's how I always had it in my brain. It was like, it was like, this is just ripping off Minecraft. This is just going to go away after a year or two. But they must have won with their systems, with their creator portals, with their instancing. They must have won some other way, because now I think Roblox is the biggest gaming platform in the world. I think it's even bigger than Steam at this point.
I believe it is. Yeah.
I'm confused. Like, I know Fortnite had what was it, Save the World or something?
Mm-hmm.
It was like the thing before they found the thing that made them good.
Mm-hmm.
And then what did Roblox like? Did Roblox have like a single player thing, or was it always just like a platform from the start?
That's how I've always known it. But I don't think it started that way. I think it started as just like a random block game, like Clyde was saying. But that was like very, very early days. I think they might have hit the jackpot, like won the lottery due to certain circumstances, leaning into the user created content. I don't think they knew. I don't know if they knew that it was going to be as big of a deal.
There's a YouTube documentary with my name on it that I'm gonna watch over dinner.
Oh, really?
About the rise of Roblox. Or
so it's not the Chris Hansen one.
The rise and fall of Roblox.
No, Chris Hansen does have a Roblox documentary.
That is wild.
That should tell you all you need to know.
Crazy sentence.
That should tell you all you need to know about what that video documentary is.
Uh-oh. All right.
Good grief.
The hole goes deep.
Yeah,
The hole
yeah,
goes
yeah,
deep,
yeah.
friend.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when a platform is this big. There's a lot of different angles to
Yeah.
it, and some of them are really sketchy.
And focused on children too.
Extremely focused on
Right.
children. I'd say probably like
Extremely focused on
95, 96, 97% of the player base are like under 15.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'd say that's likely.
Pretty crazy.
There's like
there's a lot
few
of kids'
adults playing it.
introduction to multiplayer, to the internet,
Speaking to people.
economies,
Yeah.
to DLC,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
to
Socialization,
just talking to people. You know, like, that's crazy. You know, and we give a lot of shit about, you know, like kids on Facebook and stuff, but really, kids on Roblox is the thing people are talking about.
I think the Chris Hansen documentary forced their hand into some things, because last time I went on it, which was like a week ago, you can't speak to anyone unless you do an age verification. I mean, anyone. Really? Yeah, you cannot just speak in the game. It's not possible unless you're age verified.
I mean, that's
and are you talking like typing or voice?
Typing. I don't know how the voice works. I don't know if that's even a thing in like public games. I honestly, I have no idea. I played single player on it only. Yeah.
I'd be surprised if it didn't have voice chat, but I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know if they're allowed. Every meme I've ever seen of Roblox is like the people with the big white like text bubbles. So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Honestly, I have no idea. I have barely played the game. But yeah. Yeah, no, Roblox is an absolutely insane rabbit hole.
That is. Yeah.
Well, we're almost ready to wrap up, unless anyone's got some things to add. I have one little thing. It's just that Peter, I know you're somewhat familiar with Destiny. Clyde, you interested in Destiny at all?
I've not played it, but Taylor's played it a lot, and I've watched over his shoulder.
Oh, does he like it?
Oh yeah, he was a big Destiny fan back in the day. He hasn't played it recently. Has there been a new content patch or update or something? Or?
No one has played it recently, apart from like the the diehard community. It's the game's been on like live support for a really long time, because since Bungie got acquired by Sony, basically, is when Destiny started to go downhill, which is funny because that was supposed to be like a revival, or not a revival, but it was, it's not a bad thing, is it, being acquired by Sony? I think it was probably a little bit hopeful. But no, the DLCs...
Reminds me of Blizzard being bought by Activision.
Yes. But its priorities seem to just shift away from Destiny a little bit. The last few updates didn't land great. The last major one they did was like a Star Wars crossover. But it was a Star Wars crossover, but it was still in Destiny canon. So all of the Star Wars things are like, renamed and changed and stuff, or like slightly different. So they're not Star Wars. And I'm like, wait, so you made an entire full price Star Wars crossover DLC with a campaign, only for it to be like you didn't commit? If that makes sense. Like it felt like a non-committing relationship. Anyway, the only news I had of it is that they were going to release another of the slap updates that no one likes, called Shadow and Order, like a major update. But they said they're going to delay it because they want to make a really, really big, really good one instead. And yeah, that's kind of interesting news, because the Destiny community at this point, I think, is just begging for Destiny 3. I personally, it would only be Destiny 3 that would get me back. And I spoke to my friends about this, and the reason why is because the best feeling about Destiny, at least, back in the day, was getting on the game with the boys and like just grinding the leveling and grinding with a cool campaign that's co-op. So imagine if Destiny 3 launches, everyone's on a fresh slate, because Destiny 2 has been going since 2017. Imagine a fresh slate where everyone is on is kind of in the same boots, with a long co-op campaign. Imagine it launches with like 2 raids and like 4 dungeons. Everyone would be so happy. That's easily, like, they could start doing that now, take their time, and it would be worth it, because everyone would be so happy when it happens. Yeah. Also, it's relevant because Bungie are releasing the beta next weekend for that marathon game. I doubt either of you have been keeping tabs on, because it's just not eye-catching, to be honest, at all. But yeah, that's funny, because it ties in a little bit about what we said about Sony recently. Sony and Bungie, parenthetically, obviously. the live service, basically. This game has clearly taken like attention away from Destiny, which was another live service, but admittedly not a very popular one recently. And instead of like, focusing on cool like story, true, authentic experiences, similar to how we were talking about Bluepoint being, we've just heard right now that they're being shut down. Marathon, which was originally a kind of Doom-like sort of game in the 90s from Bungie.
The precursor to Halo.
To Halo, yeah. Is now just like the most simplistic looking
generic middle of the road
live action. Sorry, not live action, live service bland extraction shooter.
Right.
Oh, good grief.
And a time where if your game is not getting hype before release, that is an absolute doom.
Yeah.
Like, if from what we've seen in the last couple of years, if the community isn't just in a clamor over your live service game launching, that's a terrible, terrible sign.
Yeah.
And you should heed that. Like, oh,
like look at Concord and Highguard. And the Concord is Sony trying. This looks very similar to Concord in terms of how it's like unraveled.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like anything new. It just seems like a bunch of stuff slapped together, hoping that they're the next big thing just because they're new. Like,
a couple of my friends are playing Devil's Advocate, saying like, if it's fun, it's fine. And I'm like,
oh yeah, if it's fun, it's fun. Like you can't change that. But it's just like the appearance, what I've seen, like. Nothing stands out. Like, it looks I can't say anything that looks new.
No, it just looks
refreshing.
Like first person.
Even
PvP
the visuals,
combat.
the visuals look like placeholders. Like, you see the textures; they're also
that's the thing that I also see people are a bit torn on. But no, I'm with you. I really don't like it. I think it's when people have those like modern houses that are just like a block. With a window.
Yeah, it's like the game.
It's like the game version of that. Yeah, it's like they thought it would look cool if we made it look like Roblox cross with Minecraft, but because we did it on purpose, like we did that on purpose, so it's cool, right? Like we made everything because that's the way the game looks, basically, Clyde. They've made it. I forget what the name of the art style is. It does have a name, but it's like everything is like red, white, green, like just like in your face colors, and everything is square. Like all the guns are square, all the buildings are square. All the people and their helmets and shit are square. It's a very very odd looking game. I'm personally not into it. Like I'm not into that style at all.
It's got a lot to make up for it. It's fighting an uphill battle right now.
It is,
which is a live service game you do not want to be. You want to hit the ground running, full speed, on fire.
It's also worth noting, like, even hitting the ground running, like, I mean, we saw Borderlands 4 had a pretty good launch last year, but it fizzled out super quickly. Like the community, like the player numbers were shredded within weeks after launch, and they tried to be like, come get golden keys, come play more of our game, and the community moved on.
That's
even a good launch isn't enough.
That's like a really, really. I couldn't have thought of a better example myself. That's a fantastic example. It ran like shit, and it was, just not. It wasn't perfect. And as a live service game, you have to really be
Monster Hunter Wilds.
Hunter Wilds,
another great example. Another
that
really
that
good
game
example.
Actually had some hype because it was a new Monster Hunter game, and all the videos looked great. The graphics were amazing. And then you actually put your hands on it, and holy shit, it was like, where's the depth? Where's the performance?
Where's the frames?
Where's the frames? Right. And they're still, I think only now they're literally like the next patch within a couple weeks, they're actually going to address like the performance issue. And this is, I don't know how many months after release, but they've already lost a huge majority of the players. And it's like, and it's not like nobody knew it was a problem. It was such a massively reported thing at the time.
Yeah.
Like, to be so blind to that, it's just like being blind to how all this stuff that, Marathon is now getting, for their shit. They should really be looking deep into, what people are complaining about. Just like Concord should have been listening to. Yeah.
I'm not like super smart in terms of like I'm really not savvy about game development and how consumers interact with the games and all that, and why some things are successful and why some things aren't. I feel like I have an okay idea. But having said that, given that Monster Hunter Wilds and Borderlands 4 games that are actually okay, suffered with this issue, then I don't understand how Marathon will get out of that. Like, if Marathon becomes successful, everything I know about games and players makes no sense. It really doesn't. Because Monster Hunter Wilds, despite being bland and running like shit, is an okay game. It's fine.
Right.
But Borderlands 4 is apparently fun, although it runs at 40 FPS on my PC. So if Marathon manages to surpass that, then I don't understand. That's why I have the stance I have. It's not because I'm a hater. It's because I'm just looking at evidence from the past.
If it did, it wouldn't be plan. It would be luck. Like,
surely it would have to be.
Absolute
there's
dice,
no logic.
Rolling 20 dice to get all natural 20 is kind of luck. Like,
yeah.
Like, there's no way you could be this oblivious and win out of just sheer, skill and determination. It would have to be something like things just happen to fall into place, because like we're seeing over and over again that and I think that's what doomed stuff like Concord and Highguard and stuff like that is when you get all the people in, you get this bias toward the product from the developers themselves, this feedback loop, the positive feedback loop, is that what they call it or something?
Yes.
Where like the company themselves, they're just so full of their own product that they don't see it from the outside. They're not running these tests from people who have nothing to know, no experience with the product to see how they see it. It's just they've worked so much with the product that they can't imagine that it won't be successful, and then they're blinded by their own ambitions, and then we get crap like this.
Yes.
So many. We have a graveyard of them. A graveyard of games that
very fresh graveyard.
A very fresh
still
graveyard.
Rotting.
It's still gross.
Some are still on the way. I can see them in the distance. The flies are coming.
Still
the buzzards
in the room.
are circling.
Yeah.
The gravekeeper is sharpening his shovel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, right. Open beta starts next Friday, and I don't even like. I would normally be on any of these. I don't even know if I want to play it. Like, also yesterday, like, new gameplay came out from people who were playing it early, and oh my god, what the fuck! It was like a PvPvE scenario where there was humanoid enemies, but they were like humanoid enemies in like, like indie shooter games where they have enemies that are just walking around and pointing, and like they're just spinning around with their gun like this and standing still. It had enemy AI like that, but there was also hostile players in the same room, but apparently they were doing a raid together. That's why they weren't fighting. But everyone looked exactly the same. The visual noise was unbelievable. If you saw the clip I was looking at, you would say, "What the fuck?" I'll show you after we record. But
like, link me that.
Yeah, but there was just people walking around everywhere. The visual noise was insane. The enemy AI do nothing. This is Bungie, by the way. They literally make Destiny. Like, the enemy AI was doing absolutely nothing. All the players were confused because there isn't big like player indicators or enemy indicators on anyone. So everyone's walking around in this tiny room like full of people, which is apparently the raid, looking all confused. And there's shit all over the floor, like guns and like loot and shit like all over the floor.
Man. Oh, God,
and I was like, what? I hated that about fuck am I watching?
Man,
like
swimming in loot. I hate such a terrible.
Like, this is the game that everyone keeps trying to say, like a lot of my friends say I'm being like too harsh on it, and a lot of people online say, like, give it a chance and all that. But every time I see footage of it, it just looks shit. Like, I can't help it. Like, what am I supposed to do? Every time I see a video of it, I'm like, this looks bad.
Yeah, I don't have any excitement for it. No. Nothing wows me. Nothing seems unique. Or like, that being said, I would still be open to trying the beta, just because.
Because why not?
A, I'd like to experience it. B, it's free. And C, my friends might be doing it too. So, and I'm the kind of person who complains that we need more demos. We don't have back in my day on our CD disc cassette system. Like you'd get the CDs with magazines and stuff. Like, I remember that's how I played Metal Gear Solid 2 was the demo, and Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Like, you'd play the demos of these games. You'd be like, oh, this is what it's like to play the game. and then like you'd actually like, where is that now, right? Like that's kind of what the Game Pass is sort of alluding to, like now you can actually play these games without the investment of purchasing them, you know? Like I can't tell you how many times, I subscribed for a month just so me and my friends could play that one game we wanted to play, because it was cheaper to buy a month and play it, and see if that worked versus
100%.
actually purchasing it. And oops, played it for 4 hours, guess it's stuck in our library. Goddamn,
Yeah.
So
y'all can play the demo. All I know is I'm gonna get my my scythe ready for the graveyard of live service games. I'm gonna be Grim Reapering. I will be ready when y'all need me to come in and just marathon. Y'all let me know. I'll be ready.
Yeah.
All right.
On the note of death and dying and things ending and grim darkness, I think I'm going to wrap it up there because I want to be respectful of everyone's time, and we're about on time as it stands here. So goodbye, gentlemen. It's been very fun talking with you, and I'll see you next week whenever we decide to do this again.
All right. See you around.
See y'all soon. Bye.